A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to a lunchtime news bulletin. I'm Shahin Chirampati. Let's start off with a look at your headlines. Ban on full-face motorcycle helmets temporarily suspended. A couple murdered in the Akmimana area in Gaul. President Barack Obama says it is unclear whether an agreement can be reached on Iran's nuclear program. Now here are the stories in detail. It has been decided to temporarily suspend regulations banning the use of motorcycle helmets which cover the face of the riders. Police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rona noted that they had received complaints charging that merchants were exploiting this rule to sell helmets at exorbitant prices. The police earlier took steps to ban the use of full-face helmets as thieves were taking advantage of these helmets to carry out robberies, and also due to the increase in the number of accidents caused by the decrease in visibility of the visors in the helmet. Meanwhile, a married couple was found murdered in the Akmimana area in Gaul yesterday.
According to police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohana, the victims were discovered after investigations were launched into their absence. The police noted that the deceased had visited a privately owned land before disappearing. The deceased had been identified as a 48-year-old woman and a 50-year-old man. The three-wheeler in which they were travelling in was also discovered in close proximity to the scene of the crime. The victims are residents of the Kitulampiti area in Gaul. The magisterial inquiry into the deaths are due to be carried out today.
The Ministry of Agriculture notes that even though the Mahaveli tanks have received insufficient rainfall, steps will be taken to supply water for farming activities during the Maha season. Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture W.A. Sakalasuriya said that the Ministry of Irrigation had agreed to release water in other tanks and small-scale reservoirs for this purpose. The Secretary, however, noted that adequate rain is expected in about a week. Water supply for agricultural activities in the island has already commenced. The Ministry of Agriculture expects paddy to be cultivated in nearly 700,000 hectares of farmlands and other crops to be cultivated in nearly 100,000 hectares of farmlands. Minister of Higher Education S.P. Dissanayake says that although the number of students enrolled into universities has increased by 300%, officials are still only capable of enrolling 1/6 of the A-level graduates. The minister made this statement during a function held in Anuradhapura yesterday. Over 400,000 students sit for the advanced level examination and nearly 150,000 pass the exam. Over the past 3 to 4 years, we have been able to increase the intake of students by 300%. We have increased the students' intake from 9,000 to 26,000, but still we are enrolling only 1/6 of the A-level graduates. Every year there are around 80 to 90,000 students who demand for higher education. On to other local news. 2 people died in a motor accident which occurred in the Sisiravatta area on the Dambulla-Kandalama main road.
The accident took place when a three-wheeler travelling from Dambulla to Kandalama had collided with a container truck at around 9 last night. Those travelling in the three-wheeler were transporting items for a funeral in the upper Aravula area in Dambulla. Vikram Singh Bandaranayaka, a 40-year-old resident of upper Aravula, died in the accident. The injured were admitted to the Dambulla base hospital. The driver of the container was taken into custody and is to be produced before the Dambulla Magistrates Court today.
An event to distribute aid to people in the Lakshapana area in Maskelia took place yesterday under the patronage of Minister of Public Management Reforms Navin Dissanayake.
There is a slight change in society today. We see many young boys and girls not engaging with us. When jobs are provided, those who obtain these jobs do not engage with us thereafter. For instance, I provided jobs to 40 people at the Board of Investment, but only 40 came forward on my behalf for the general election. That is what is happening today. That is a change I see in society.
A musical was held at the BMICH in Colombo yesterday to mark the 3rd anniversary of President Mahinda Rajapaksa's assumption of office.
The function organized by the Presidential Social Development Director's Office was attended by a distinguished gathering including Minister of National Language and Social Integration Vasudevan Anayakara and Parliamentary Coordinating Secretary to the President Kumarasiri Hettige. The musical, which also featured rehabilitated former LTDE cadres, was titled Mekala. Former LTTE suspects and activists who have now been rehabilitated have been included in this performance. They have been transformed into artists. We can consider this as a form of friendship that is being created among ethnicities.
Meanwhile, a crocodile who was posing problems for the residents of the Wangala area in Kantale was captured by the area residents themselves yesterday.
The crocodile, who had begun arriving in the Wangala and Kantale area about a month ago, had claimed the lives of several dogs. According to a correspondent in the area, the crocodile makes its way to the villagers from the Wangala tank. The area residents were able to capture the crocodile when it ventured into a house in the Wangala area. Our correspondent added that the crocodile was handed over to the Kantale wildlife officers. The wildlife officers later took steps to release the crocodile into the Somawati reserve.
And that's wrap in your lunchtime news bulletin. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Shahan Jarangpati. Goodbye and take care.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.